Imagine this, it's World War II and you're the last line of defence as a massive Japanese invasion fleet appears over the horizon. Hundreds of enemy ships, planes and guns all trained at your ship. You don't blink, you don't cut and run, you stand and fight. It's one of the great unknown stories of the war, and it's all true. Tonight, a Sunday night special event as guest reporter Mike Carlton takes us to the last resting place of Australia's bravest warship.
We're between the Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra.
Jadi 5 minit lagi ya, ke sana.
70 years ago, a sea battle bloodied these calm waters. 353 brave young Australians were lost. The story of what happened here is close to my heart and close to Matt Grant's. His great-grandfather was one of the survivors.
Even if you read it in a book, I think, you would think it would definitely be fiction.
What do you think you might do when you see the ship for the first time?
I don't know, I just think probably just shock and awe, just being down there, touching it, just bringing me that little bit closer.
Right here, which is exactly where we are now. We're sitting right on top of it.
The Perth was the pride of Australia's young navy. 7,000 tons, 8 6-inch guns. In her final battle, against impossible odds, she took on an entire Japanese invasion fleet until she ran out of ammunition.
And this is a story that needs to be told for generations to come.
Bang, there's the Perth right there.
Yeah, the best fellas. Yeah, chin. Down the hatch, mate. Yeah.
These are some of the few men still left who lived the incredible but true story of HMAS Perth.
I'll reach 100.
Well, it won't be long.
No, 93, yeah, 7 to go.
They get together every month at the Sydney Bowlers Club. Time has changed each of them, but not their mateship. It was forged under fire on Australia's bravest warship.
Although we were a very small part in a very big war, we were fighting for freedom, for our country, for the empire, for the world, really.
Its lifespan was so short. I think it achieved so much.
Perth began life as a British warship, but in 1939, she was made an Aussie.
I renamed this ship Perth. May God bless and preserve all those who sail in her.
Her crew was young and untested. Many were teenagers, most out for an adventure. And they soon got one, World War II. The first big tests were sea battles in the Mediterranean. 6 months, 257 air attacks. The Germans and Italians threw everything at them. But the crew of Perth was up to the challenge. They shot down bombers, sank a German transport ship, were hit themselves, and 13 men were killed.
She survived such a lot in the Mediterranean, didn't she?
Oh, yes. When you could see a ship going through, being bombed by hundreds of bombers at times, and you see a ship sink over there, another ship sinks over there, another ship sinks over there, 5 in 2 days.
In February 1942, the Japanese seemed an unstoppable force. Their navy was formidable and heading south towards Australia. Perth was called to action as the Japanese entered the Java Sea near Indonesia. Among the young men on board was John Tubby Grant. He'd signed up as a boy of 15.
Got this real sense that, it was a good bloke, a real character.
Tubby's story lives on in his great-grandson, Matt. They were close. Tubby died in 1999, but inspired Matt to join the Navy. Now Matt has come to Indonesia to get as close as he can to the resting place of his great-grandfather's famous ship.
It's quite personal for me, but, not only just myself, but for everyone else that served and all their families.
So I guess that's,
600 or more families. So in a way, you're representing them.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel a little bit of weight on the shoulders. Yeah, can't wait. Let's get it underway. You know, I can certainly sympathise for everyone else that, you know, that was lost.
Perth had proved brave beyond her size, but now her job was to stop the unstoppable.
Mid-afternoon, we sighted a forest of ships, or forest of masts, I should say, and it was the enemy force.
In a terrible battle, 5 Allied ships were sunk, 7 others badly damaged. Perth and an American cruiser, the USS Houston, were the only ships left in the fight. They'd delayed the Japanese for an afternoon.
That evening they sail. They're told that the coast is clear, that there should be no Japanese in the way. So they head off, and Captain Waller makes that announcement. I believe the coast is clear.
Tragically, an Australian pilot had spotted another invasion force of more than 60 enemy ships, but his warning was never relayed to the Perth. She and her crew sailed into the night and once more against hopeless odds.
We ran into the Japanese invasion fleet. They were everywhere.
Even before we even started, we didn't stand a chance.
It is a calm, moonlit night, and HMAS Perth and the American cruiser Houston are expecting no trouble. They've been told the coast is clear. Suddenly, in front of them on the horizon, they see the dark shape of a ship. It can only be the Japanese, and the cry goes up, "Jap destroyer!" and all hell begins to break loose. At first, the Japanese panic, and they let off a swarm of torpedoes which run past Perth and Houston into that bay over there, where they sink 2 transports full of Japanese soldiers for the invasion. But they quickly get their act together, and the Japanese cruisers and destroyers now start to swarm in on Perth in a hail of shells, torpedoes. Bang, they're firing, they're hitting, and men on Perth are beginning to die. As Perth makes her defiant charge towards the enemy, she's hit by a torpedo, and then another in quick succession. On the bridge, Captain Waller knows the end is near, and he gives the order to abandon ship. Men now begin to save their lives. Tubby Grant somehow struggles up from his action station in the bows of the ship. Frank McGovern jumps overboard. Gavin Campbell is blown overboard by yet another torpedo. Other men die in the water from the force of 1,000 tons of TNT as torpedoes strike the ship. But for all of those men who still live in the water, some of them injured, others covered in fuel oil, a new struggle is beginning, the battle to survive.
More than 350 men died that night. Perth's captain, Heck Waller, was last seen standing on the bridge as the ship went down.
Last I saw it was the stern just disappearing. And that was it. I thought, there it goes.
Matt's great-grandfather, Tubby, was among the 320 survivors. A third of them would die in prisoner-of-war camps, many on the infamous Burma-Siam Railway.
And there's a depth, 18 metres, okay?
Anchors away.
What do you think you might do when you get down there?
Oh, I haven't even contemplated it. I mean, I've sort of dreamt about, you know, going around and through it and what it would have been like, but yeah, I don't know. I just think probably just shock and awe, just being down there, touching it, you know, just bringing me that little bit closer.
This is a seriously dangerous dive. There's a strong current sweeping south, the same current that carried so many Perth sailors to their deaths, and visibility below is not good. So we've got with us 2 of Australia's most experienced deep-sea divers to help keep Matt safe. And they've got special rebreather gear which allows them to go deep inside the hull. All right. Remember, a lot of brave men down there. You're doing it for Tubby.
It's 30 metres to the bottom, and for Matt, a journey back in time.
Heading down that little guide rope, and then around 20, 25 metres, you see a big dark shadow, and then, you know, 28 metres, 30 just sort of pops up, and bang, there's the Perth right there. It was just unbelievable, you know, heart's racing a million miles an hour, and, you know, it's right there, it's right in front of your face, so much history, you know. it's just really great to get down there and touch it. I could just feel that I was a part of it, you know. I was really a part of Tubby and a part of the ship, you know. So many people went down with this ship. There's damage in torpedo hulls and damage from shells. It was just incredible to, you know, be looking at these gaping holes. We got down to the gun turrets as well, and they were pointing up at the sky, and it's, you know, as if they were still shooting at the Japanese fleet there. It was just great to be amongst it and, you know, swim up and down them and have a look, you know. Absolutely just incomprehensible what, you know, the guys would have gone through.
Our divers go deeper inside the Perth than anyone has ever been. There is a peace in the far reaches of the ship that suggests this is more than a wreck. It is a hallowed place.
Well done, mate. Well done, buddy.
Fantastic. Been looking forward to this day for so long, and I'm just so glad that, you know, it's brought me closer to Tubby.
Fantastic.
Oh, I know.
Was it good?
Absolutely awesome.
Was it what you expected?
Oh, it was better than I expected. I just couldn't believe it. Absolutely.
So many, so young, died on the Perth. And those who survive and meet each month never thought they'd ever see their mighty ship again.
What you're about to see now is just coming up on about 70, 80 metres inside the hull, where TV cameras have never been before.
It's great to see the old girl again, and it's a bit different, but you've done a remarkable job, and it's so good to see what you've done.
And her story is never forgotten.
This one's for you, Tubby, and for all the sailors that have been lost.
353 men went down with this ship or lost their lives. That's for them.